I went to the Black MBA conference, and I went there for 2 years that I've been an MBA student. The first time, really, it was just my first month in the MBA program, so that was quite different. For me, that was just an opportunity to network. One of the things I learned was that most of the companies there were just looking for mostly full-time employees. I know some people got some internships, but mainly they were looking for full time. So what I used that opportunity to do was sort of get the feel for the whole conference, and it's way bigger than what you'd expect at Baylor. So that was very more or less a very good bridge for me. Um, the second one was more successful. Obviously, I knew I had contacts, I had networked before. I knew which companies were coming, what they were looking for, and how to essentially navigate the whole conference. I will assume that you do everything that you learn in your career classes. Researching the companies, those are very important. I mean, if you go and talk to a company, you need to understand, some of the recent developments. You need to understand what they make. Some leadership positions that are changing, challenges in the industry, and somewhat. I would approach the preparation in a different part. I think that the preparation you put in before is equally important. For instance, register early. Put your resume on the website. You will be surprised. Most of these companies actually look at the resumes that are on the National Black website and then schedule interviews even before meeting you. So those are more or less their preferred candidates, and then they open it up for people who walk up to them. So that is one great preparation you can put in place. Register early, put your resume online. I got several interviews, including Target, who I'm going to work for. So that was even before I went in for the conference on Thursday. I had like 3 or 4 interviews lined up, and that's one preparation you can do beside the company research. You register early, you actually save a lot of money. It's typically probably 50% the cost you would pay if you wait until the very last minute. I will also say that being a member also cuts the cost down for you. So if you can, you should register, become a member, and then you get a subsidized membership price as well. It is always ideal, I think, to find a roommate, somebody who from Baylor who would be going, so that you sort of live together. That will save you costs. Obviously, doing it ahead of time also helps. What I know is that some of the hotels just block the rates because they are aware that there's a conference going on at that time. But if you're able to do it ahead of time, you save money, and then you get a pretty good place that is close to the conference center. We're usually given a sheet to fill out. You target about 10 companies, and you sort of rank them according to the ones you really want to talk to. What I would suggest as you do that is maybe your first 1 or 2 companies you approach very different companies from your list. I have a story of talking to Georgia Pacific, who I had no intention of working for, and then sort of just mumbling through, sort of just getting the nerves out. So I think that that's a good approach. Have the 10 companies that you want to really approach, and then the first 1 or 2 that you approach be different companies, just sort of get the feel for the whole atmosphere before you go to those companies. Talk to them first, after the two, go to your top companies first, because on the Thursday that you go, you know, these companies, anybody who approaches them first, they know that they're their number one choice. It is about 10 times the size of Baylor. It is very overwhelming. But you will get exposure to a very vast number of companies that you will not see at the Baylor Career Fair. I think the National Black is the biggest MBA conference in the world, and so you get to benefit from that, meeting all these companies, and there are some very obscure companies that you probably haven't heard of, who might fit your need. That is another benefit. I think you also learn to network. You might talk to various different people, share cards. These are potential people that you can network with and interact with at a later date. Obviously be open to students too. I made a lot of friends at these conferences, and then we keep in touch. If they find any job openings, we sort of email each other. So those are some of the benefits. Obviously, and the cities you go to are very different. I mean, I've been to Atlanta, I've been to Indianapolis, and take that time to enjoy the sites as well.